Hi Libra. I am here to do your general preview for 2022, and I'm going to take cards for each month of the year. But I wanted to begin by saying thank you very much for your support. It means a lot to me. It lets me know a couple of things. One, how what I'm doing is helping. So when you comment, like, share, subscribe, those sorts of things, they really let me know that what I'm doing is helping, and I greatly appreciate that. Plus, it helps the channel to grow, and I appreciate that as well. So thank you very much. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to take cards for every month of the year a couple of times, and then towards the end, so stay till the end, we're going to take a major arcana for each month and find out how that ties in, which I think is going to be pretty exciting. Okay, now remember to only take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. Okay, and if you're close to somebody, I could be picking up on their energies instead of yours. Okay, so let's get your card for January. Frog Spirit, clear out the clutter. That's a very interesting first card. Okay, and also do take into account that this energy is like a stream or a breeze. It flows, okay? And so I would imagine, it doesn't have to, but I would imagine you will have energies coming into January from December and even potentially earlier, okay? So let's get a card for February. Dragonfly Spirit, truth transcends illusion. Okay. And don't forget to check out your sun, moon, and rising and Venus signs for a more complete picture. Okay, so let's get a card for March. Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. Okay, let's get a card for April. Giraffe Spirit, see the big picture. Okay, so let's get a card for May. See what they would like to share for May. Skunk Spirit, know your worth. Okay, and now one for June. Okay, beautiful, dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. And that's coming out right next to know your worth. I think that's really beautiful. All right, on to July. And if you like this reading, please give it a like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification. Any or all of those will help the channel to grow and also help me know how well this is serving you. It makes a big difference. So thank you ahead of time. Okay? So now on to July. Fox Spirit, think on your feet. Okay. August. And I'm going to try to go faster this time. Last time it took me, I don't know, about an hour and 20 minutes. So this time I'm going to try to do it a little bit faster if possible. Okay? Okay, August. Wombat Spirit, be at home. It's a beautiful energy too. You have a lot of really nice spirit animals coming out. Okay, let's get one for September. Bobcat Spirit, life is a mystery. Now on to October. Beautiful. I really like this. Grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith. And you can see how some of these look like they are wanting to work together. For example, January and February, both to me look like they want to work together. You know, clear out the clutter and truth transcends illusion. Okay, how about November? Oh, I love this. Dog spirit, be loyal to what you love. Beautiful. And now finally for December. Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacle. Okay, so you have your full 12 months of spirit animal oracles. So now let's go on and get your overall energies. And as we get these, I'll stop and talk about them for just a moment. Okay? So let's get our first card for January. Not quite yet. Okay. Absolutely beautiful. You have the World. And what that says is a brilliant success, a time of joyful accomplishment and spiritual enlightenment, freedom to do whatever you want. Be proud of yourself. This is absolutely a beautiful card. It's beautiful energy. So, here's what you have for January. Clear out the clutter. And this can be literally, in your home, clearing out the clutter. But I think what it's really referring to is going inside. And if you have fears, anxieties, that sort of thing, it's time to clear them out. Get rid of them. Let yourself be happy and go for what it is that you want out of life. Okay? So that's what I think it's meaning by clearing out the clutter. And that would make sense to me because if you do that, it will oftentimes bring in a new beginning, a beautiful new beginning. And the World talks about completing a cycle, a successful completion, therefore a new beautiful beginning. One where you have the freedom to do whatever you want and to be very proud of yourself. Sometimes this is an easy thing to do, sometimes not so much. Okay, so that's your January. Beautiful. Okay, let's go on to February. Truth transcends illusion. Okay, February, please. Thank you. Beautiful. Another new beginning. You're getting some really nice cards here. Okay, so the Dragonfly Spirit, Truth Transcends Illusion. And here, this new beginning is one of where it's a whole different way of thinking, okay? Brilliant ideas that may need refinement. Overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out. Communicate clearly and concisely. Remain objective. And here, truth transcends illusion, right? So your brain is expanding, your mind is expanding, which is going to enable you to see the truth. Oftentimes, our limited points of view as humans, we only see portions of the big picture. And this is saying you're expanding and you're going to be able to see the truth through the illusion. You don't have to only see the illusion any longer. And I happen to think that that is working with your January energy of clearing out the clutter. Therefore, you're able to end the cycle and begin this new cycle where it's this beautiful new way of thinking and you see things so differently. So to me, these two work together, January and February, very well. Okay, let's go on to March, where you have the electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life, which would also fit in beautifully because you have a new beginning. This would be a great time to bring your ideas to life. Okay. No, one more. Okay. Another fabulous energy. This is the Empress. Take time, or time to take action. Give birth to your dreams. Creative projects will be very successful. Abundance and prosperity. This is one of the very best cards in the deck. Abundance flows to her. And you see this heart. Love does too. She is like the mother archetype. Okay? It's a beautiful energy. She's very fertile, full of ideas and projects. And here it says, bring your ideas to life, right? She will be a wonderful aid to you for that very reason. So, carrying on here, so far it looks like the first 3 months might very well be working together. And now you have the giraffe spirit that talks about seeing the big picture, which is April. Another beautiful energy. Okay. This is the King of Pentacles. This is the person that has the Midas touch, which is you. Compassion is one of his strengths as well. He's very loving and very caring, as well as being very wealthy. Accomplished, charismatic, grounded, a time of great success, financial security and prosperity, the Midas touch, everything turning out beautifully, a supportive parent and spouse, a good person to work for. So this is a fabulous energy. And it's coupled with see the big picture, okay? And prior to this, I would say see this big picture is because of this month. It's saying bring your ideas to life. In here you have the Empress, who all these ideas and abundance and love flow to her. Projects, creative projects flow to her. Okay? So I think that's part of seeing the bigger picture. Use your Empress energy to bring that in. And you have the King of Earth, which is saying, whatever you do, you're going to have the Midas touch. So there is a very good chance that whatever you are doing during this time is going to bring in very nice abundance. So now we have 4 months, it looks like, that are working together, which is awesome because usually these don't go in sequence. I mean, when you're doing a whole year review, they, tend to do that somewhat. But this is just like a beautiful sequence, almost like a book. Okay, now on to May, which is the skunk spirit. Know your worth. Beautiful, beautiful energy. It is so important to know your worth, and sometimes that's a huge challenge for people. They didn't come up with that old saying, we are our own worst critics for no reason. Okay, let's get one more. Another lovely energy. Fabulous. Okay, here you have the Nine of Earth. Enjoying the fruits of your labors, hard work has led to a luxurious life. Buying yourself something special, happily and successfully self-employed, enjoying your solitude. That's the only part that I'm not so sure about. The rest of it's beautiful and would fit in perfectly with this. Okay. Well, I'll wait till we get to the next month. But know your worth. Definitely, you can see this energy. They know their worth. Okay? So, let the skunk spirit absorb some of this energy. Know your worth. You are worth a lot. And not just because of this card, but because you are who you are. Okay? So this is just beautifully in sequence so far. Okay, now on to June. Bring a gentle touch, the deer spirit. Let's see what your overall energy is for June. Bring a gentle touch. Okay, this is just about the opposite of bringing a gentle touch. Okay, maybe things are starting to change a little here. Okay. Protect what you have created. Be prepared. Never give up. Ask your angels for help. And potentially environmental activism and animal rights. Okay, the animal rights thing, maybe so, you know. But these two, you couldn't be much different. Here you are, this gentle, sweet deer spirit. And here you are throwing those wands. I mean, definitely opposing energies. Not saying they can't work together, because they can. But maybe we'll have to see how the rest goes. Okay? But I would say it's possible that between May and June, something else is transforming or coming in. Okay? Because I said I was going to stop for a brief moment and cover the first 6 months. Here's this beautiful, successful completion of a cycle. You are going in and clearing out the clutter, which is a wonderful thing to do. Sometimes it can be challenging, but it's wonderful. You're going in and getting rid of the anxieties that are not well-founded, the stresses, the fears, taking all that out so you can bring in the happiness and joy. Okay, that's huge, which is bringing about a successful completion of that cycle. And what it also says is, do anything you want now. And so the very next month in February, you have the dragonfly spirit, which says truth transcends illusion, which now you can get the truth because you cleared out the clutter, right? And you're expanding your way of thinking. So it's beautiful, which is bringing in the electric eel spirit of bring your ideas to life. And you have the Empress energy, absolutely fabulous. Abundance flows to her, joy flows to her, fertility, she's very fertile. Love, she's a mother archetype. She will be there for anybody in need, and genuinely so, okay? Very powerful energy too. So, bring your ideas to life, and she's full of these ideas, full of the abundance. Beautiful energy to have for you to bring your ideas to life. Okay, so then on to April, where you have the Midas touch and a very caring, loving, powerful energy. Okay, the Midas touch, you notice he's sitting in the gold, holding his pentacles. This energy has no financial worries, okay? What he touches, he turns to gold, the Midas touch. And here it's telling you, see the bigger picture. See this as being a possibility in your life, okay? And so it's working beautifully with this, and this, and this. And so over here, again, know your worth. I can tell you, the Nine of Earth, she knows her worth. Look at her, very stately and secure. She knows her worth. And this is telling you, this cute, adorable little skunk spirit, know your worth. So absorb this energy. Help yourself to know your worth. Okay? because that, knowing your worth, will help you bring in this beautiful new energy. And then you come over here to June, which is just totally different. Dear Spirit, beautiful, gentle. And here you have somebody who looks about like they are ready to go to war. Couldn't be any more opposite. Protect what you have created. Be prepared. Never give up. Ask your angels for help, and potentially environmental activism and animal rights. The animal rights, I'm kind of teasing maybe, but that's where this looks like it fits in. But, okay, so you have all this energy. It is possible that you are taking on this energy to protect this, all right? And maybe you're bringing a gentle touch. Maybe you're combining the two, bringing this gentle touch. But don't mess with your life. You know, you can, people you love, but you are being very protective over this. Perfectly understandable, because you're creating this beautiful life which has a good probability of being very lucrative. And that could bring in problems from the outside potentially. Okay, so let's see what July holds, which will be very interesting. Fox Spirit, time to think on your feet. And see, I could see this energy right here perfectly, because she is thinking on her feet. But like I said, you know, energies, they ebb and flow like a stream or a river. So just because this is here does not mean it doesn't have a place or effects in a month prior or after. Okay? So let's see what energy is with July. I can't wait to find out. Now, mind you, the Fox Spirit is a wonderful energy. There are definitely times and places to think on your feet. And it is wonderful to have that energy with you when you need to think on your feet. Okay, one more. Ha ha. Okay. This energy has the potential to be problematic. It's no wonder you have to think on your feet. Okay. A loss of peace of mind or personal freedom. Take caution and be aware of others' actions. A material loss. Make sure you are being honest with yourself, okay? And that really is true. Embarrassing secrets. So maybe this is starting right here. It has potential. But I can see how this is think on your feet. Be prepared, okay? You see like this person is running away. Are you this person around the campfire who doesn't know this is going on? Or are you the person grabbing all the swords and running off? Time to think on your feet. Yeah. And I'm looking at this. I would say this is not you. Not with the prior energy. You would have no need for this. But you never know. Things happen. You know, a month is a short time, but many things can happen within a month. But I do know this is think on your feet, and I can see why. If these people around the campfire were doing this, this would not happen. Okay? A material loss. And you don't want that, because you have worked very hard here using your Midas touch to bring about this beautiful thing. So I would say July would be a month to use caution and be aware and make wise choices, okay? But do remember, in June, you have this very powerful energy who is here to keep everything smooth, okay? So if there's an issue, call on this energy. And do think on your feet. Thinking on your feet might be the only thing you have to do, because if you're thinking on your feet, like I said, people won't be getting away with things. Okay, now on to August, the Wombat Spirit. Be at home. All right? And that is a very endearing energy. And there's a lot of truth to that, which I'll talk about in just a minute here. Okay. Here we go. The High Priestess. Okay. What the Wombat Spirit talks about, be at home. In a way, it's a wee bit similar to the Frog Spirit in that they're not really talking about you going to your physical home. It can be, but no, what this is referring to is being at home within yourself. Okay, this human body of yours, you need to be able to be at home there, okay? You need to, if you're feeling sorrow, you need to be able to go within, okay? And be consoled, get the love and tenderness you need. If you're happy and joyous and all excited, you need to be able to go inside and be able to experience that and everything in between, okay? So this is saying, make your life so that this is like your sanctuary, who you are, okay? And here you have the High Priestess. Meditate and turn inward to discover your soul's true desire. This is not the time for action. Develop your intuitive gifts and trust the wisdom you receive. And can you see how these two would go together? I certainly can. Use your intuition. Go within and make this your sanctuary. You are in tune with your intuition and your higher power. So use it to your advantage, okay? So this is a wonderful place to come home to, all right? Beautiful energy. And it is quite different from this. So it's possible, we'll have to get more cards, but it is possible that January through May is building and developing this beautiful energy. And here, somehow, somewhere, a decision is being made that you need to be vigilant. And then in comes this problem. So maybe you foresee something, you use your intuition, or something happens externally where you know you need to do this. And then this happens, or potentially happens. Since you are forewarned, you know the saying, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. If you are forewarned, your fox spirit might be right there, and that might not happen, okay? And then you switch into an internal kind of energy for the month of going within, finding who you are and your happiness. And you do it by using your High Priestess energy, okay? So now let's go into September, which is Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery. Okay. That's actually a perfect, I'm giggling, it's a perfect card to come out with this. Oftentimes when I get this card, either a challenge is coming or something like this, and I'm so glad it's this. Life is a mystery. This is the dreamer, like the Fool card. It's a new beginning, okay? And you see the angel in the background guiding you and watching over you. It's beautiful. I love this energy. A new start. Trust yourself. Push your fears aside and take a leap of faith. And I don't think it's any coincidence that this came out right after that. Take a leap of faith. You know, I do. I love the universe because there are so many synchronicities that happen, and you can see them in the readings. But when you do these year-long readings, I could sit here for 2 or 3 hours and pull out all these different things that are, you know, synchronous, that just create this beautiful tapestry. I won't do that to you, though, because I know you have a life, okay? But here, life is a mystery. And here you have the dreamer, which is, in essence, the fool. It's saying, be spontaneous, have fun, be curious, want to know. You know, you want to go discover. This is the kind of energy to go into this with. And sometimes I say, think about when you were a youth and how when you would go, say, outside to play, for example, everything was a feast for the eyes. Everything had magic, you know, and you wanted to discover everything. That's this kind of energy. Pull some of that curiosity from your memory and bring it into the present. And you will realize again, which you once knew, that life is a mystery. Okay, it's beautiful. And maybe this month is in preparation for this month. You know, it's preparing you. Be at home. Be happy with who you are. That way you can set off on this journey and not, you know, have the weight of dealing with that. Here, if you do that here, you are just free to explore, expand. It's awesome energy. Okay, and so October is continuing on. Take a leap of faith. And here, take a leap of faith. Okay, so October. I love this reading. It's absolutely beautiful. Very exciting, I think. Okay, on to October. Very interesting card. You have the Queen of Fire. Brilliant, talented, independent, controlling. There is nothing you can't do. Believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. The need for balance between career and personal life. She has a few things I really like. One is she's unafraid to speak up and be heard, which I really like. And another is she is very social. She's out there making connections everywhere. She's like a social butterfly. She's a beautiful energy. Okay, but that's what they're talking about, I believe, when they say a need for balance in career and personal life. I'm sure that a lot of her personal life, you know, making these connections is bringing in networking, which helps her career side. But, yeah, maybe a need for balance there. Okay, here, your new beginning of the Fool, the Dreamer, and it extends on to this month. Take that leap of faith. And in addition to getting this, you are getting this social energy, one that's enthusiastic, ambitious, and unafraid to speak up and be heard. But this is an energy that's just full of ambition and drive and excitement, okay? So this is a wonderful energy to have with this. Okay, now on to November, which is Dog Spirit. Be loyal to what you love. And I think that's a gorgeous image. I love this deck of spirit animal cards. Okay, let's see what card would like to come out for the dog spirit. Another very powerful energy. Okay, here you have stand up for yourself and your beliefs. Have confidence, challenge those in power, but also choose your battles wisely. Okay? And then just about 6 months prior, you have this other very powerful energy. Okay? Set these cards down. See here in June, you see some similarities there. She is ready to go to battle. She's prepared. And here it's not quite the same. If you notice, hers are pointing out. These are pointing in, and one is pointing out. So that, I don't know if that means something is coming in at you or you're just prepared for it. Okay, but this is definitely an outward motion of protecting and standing up and keeping everything safe. Here, stand up for yourself and your beliefs. Have confidence, challenge those in power, but choose wisely. Here, the dog spirit, be loyal to what you love, and that may be part of the choose wisely. Okay? And this might even go a little bit deeper, you know, be loyal to what you love. And I can see a couple of possibilities here. One is you are being loyal to what you love, which is bringing this about because maybe somebody's challenging something about what you love. That could very well be. Matter of fact, I tend to think that's what it is. But also, pick and choose your battles wisely. Don't waste your energy, time, and effort on something that's not worth it. But if it is something that you love, okay, or a very strong belief, then yes, it's worth it. So this little adorable dog, be loyal to what you love, would be worth it. But now see, this is kind of interesting to me because this doesn't necessarily fit in here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a card for December, and then we'll talk about these quickly, and then it will be time to take the major arcana, which I get so excited about. See what's going to come out where. And so far, your year just looks wonderful. You have some beautiful energies. Okay, December. Oh, me, oh my. This is an interesting one. Okay. She has some beautiful attributes. And then she has some other ones that are more challenging. Okay. So it's, if you are choosing the parts of this energy that are wonderful, then I think that's a beautiful thing to do. But be careful for the parts that aren't so wonderful. Okay. Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacle. This particular energy, managing your resources wisely, extremes in how you give or receive money, time, or emotions. See, there's one of those cautionary parts. Smart business decisions, which is great. Seeing things as black and white might not be so great. Being charitable is great. So this is a very deep card, or a very deep energy. So try to make for sure in December that you are tempering what you are doing. Think it through, okay? Don't just, willy-nilly make choices that are not in your best interest or the people you love, their best interest. Maybe that's also got something to do with be loyal to what you love, the dog spirit. And here, Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacles. That could have to do with this. So it's potential that these 2 months are kind of commingling. Okay, so quickly let's talk about this, and then we are going to take our major arcana right here for every month. First 5 months, I think, almost in beautiful sequence. The next two, June and July, something is coming up where you feel the need to be on your toes. Think on your feet, defend. The next few months, 3 months probably, it looks like you're having this beautiful, exciting, adventurous new beginning, which is really awesome. And this is in preparation for it. So you could technically say this is a month by itself, but I don't think so. I would say this is a preparatory month, and here's where it's in action. And then here, the last 2 months, I think is something different, okay? This is more of a make wise decisions and be prepared to defend those decisions month, okay? So I hope this really helps. And just to let you know, you have a couple of months. I'd say this month right here. Actually, no, really only 1 month. This month right here, it could be a challenge. This is not a challenge. This is keeping the challenge at bay, right? You are prepared. But just about every single month is beautiful, strong, and wise. Okay, let's get a major arcana for each month and maybe make a few comments about them. And then we will be done. We have to take a charm. And we can't take 12 charms, so we'll be here for probably another half an hour. It's already a long video, I'm sure. Okay, let's get a card for January. Okay, the very best card in the deck. You can get no better. And what I'm getting from this intuitively is this is telling you that 2022 is going to be a very good year for you. Okay? Which is wonderful. You take a look here quickly. You're getting rid of all the things that have held you back. And I'm not really referring to the physical plane, I'm referring to internally. You are becoming the new you, which is bringing in a successful completion of a cycle and saying, you can do whatever you want. And then you have the sun, and the sun is the most abundant, the most content, happy energy out there. It is the shine your light kind of energy. And so I kind of see this as saying, this is the overall energy that you can carry with you for the entire year if you choose to. Now remember, you are the one, you have these energies, but it's what you do with these energies that makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so in February, you have this new beginning where you're stretching your mind. It's a whole new way of thinking. And you're carrying that sun energy with you. Let's see what we have. Judgment. Very, very nice. And I think it fits very well. The Judgment says it's a huge awakening, one where you're tuning into a higher frequency. Truth transcends illusion. That will come into play here. And you're stretching your mind. It's a whole new way of thinking, which will also be part of this. Tuning into a higher frequency, right? A huge awakening. Beautiful together. Okay, let's go on to March. The High Priestess. What the High Priestess is saying, you're in tune with your intuition. Go inside. Okay? All the answers that you seek are inside. And I would say if you had questions, it would be, well, how do I bring my ideas to life? How do I use this energy, etc.? And the High Priestess will help you with that, okay? Now on to April, seeing the bigger picture and this wonderful king with the Midas touch who is very caring and loving. The Chariot. I can see how this would fit in well too. The Chariot is a very strong energy. It's one of a driving force. You have decided on how you want to go forward. You know your goal, what you want to do. And you are not going to be stopped. You are going forward, period, exclamation point. You have the Midas touch, very caring, loving, and you see the bigger picture. So it's time to go. Okay. Now on to May with the beautiful, stately, wealthy energy. And whoops, and the skunk spirit. The one where you need to know your worth. Let me get that card. Okay, I got it. The Lovers, which is a very interesting card to come out with these cards. The only thing I could think of to say is here, know your worth, right? And here, they definitely know their worth. So the blending of the two maybe is the Lovers. Or maybe it's also possible you do learn your worth. And it brings in the Lovers. But there is a small contrast. The Lovers is not solitude. Okay? So here could be a month of create balance. But also a month where maybe you're coming out of your shell and having a romantic relationship, which would be beautiful. Okay, June. See if maybe I can keep this one from flying away. It's possible. The Emperor, very strong energy, okay? And so now, underneath this card, you have the Empress, and now you have the Emperor. They are a fabulous pair, and them being together just increases their power. Okay? And you have that on top of this very strong energy. So I can tell you June is going to be a powerful month for you. Okay? The Emperor sets solid foundations from which his success will grow. And he is very powerful. Okay? And you're taking on a very powerful energy. And you know what I'm thinking now about this deer spirit? You have two very powerful energies. I think this deer spirit is here to temper these a little bit, to calm it down just a little. Okay? Two very, very strong energies. Matter of fact, the Emperor, well, it might, could be the strongest. He could be a puppet master if he wants to be, So, yeah, I think that's what's going on. The deer spirit here is to temper this down a little bit, calm it down. Okay, on to July. And that's the one and only month that I would say there's a potential challenge other than maybe in December, but this one is not the same kind of a challenge as this one. I'd say the one in July could be trouble if you let it. So think on your feet. The Magician, beautiful. Use your magic, use your practicality, use your fox spirit, and create the reality that you want. So in other words, how about just bypass this? Just let it go. Okay. Now on to August, where you have the Wombat spirit, be at home in your own skin, and the High Priestess, who says you're in tune with your intuition, your higher power, your divine feminine energy, and you need to go in and use them. The World. Beautiful. Okay, this is the same card that you have in January. And this is saying a successful completion of a cycle, therefore the beginning of a new one. And how perfect is this? This is coming out right before the Dreamer, okay, or the Fool. So this is saying this is a completion. You're done, okay? Might have been a very short cycle, but you've made it through it with flying colors, apparently. Okay, now on to the Dreamer. Oh, and if you like this, I don't remember if I said this. If you like this reading, please give a like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and please do comment and let me know how this goes for you, okay? Thank you. This flipped right over the Empress. And something, I know we're going 6 months and 6 months, but just something to note. Right above it is the Empress, okay? And no coincidences. Synchronicities, yes. Coincidences, no. All right? But so here's your new beginning. You can tell the world, ending of a cycle. Your new beginning. And you have the Empress with you, which is absolutely beautiful. So you have abundance flowing in, creativity flowing in, love flowing in. So this is going to be a beautiful month. Okay, now on to October, which I feel is a continuation of September, or it has a great possibility to be. Beautiful, the Wheel of Fortune. Another wonderful energy. This is where the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor, okay? This new beginning, I think it's encompassing both of these months. It's beautiful. Okay, on to November. Oh, this kind of scooted up. Be loyal to what you love. Stand up for what you believe in, but pick and choose your battles wisely, okay? Ooh. The Hanged Man, which would be, I think, very fitting. This is saying go in, take time out, and think things through and come up with the answers that you're looking for, which will tell you, is this worthy of your time and effort, or is it not? Plus any other questions that you might have. But this is a very good thing to do when you're in this position, okay? Stand up for yourself, but make for sure it is where and with and concerning who that best serves you. All right. And now we have overcome any obstacles around the spirit, and the Four of Earth, which is one of those interesting energies that has many beautiful attributes and many not quite so beautiful or rigid. How about that? Okay. Tower. That's not surprising. It's too bad, though. But it's not surprising. Okay. Towers can be very tiny things. They can be huge things. They can be self-imposed. They can happen to you abruptly. Well, actually, towers themselves, I think, are abrupt. Even if you are the one creating the tower, you know, you are deliberately making an abrupt change. So, however this tower comes about, it's going to be most likely abrupt. And here it says, overcome any obstacle, the Rhino Spirit. And here you have this energy, where if you're using the good energy, no problem. If you're using the kind that's very opinionated, this could cause potential issues. But regardless, you're having a tower moment, and towers can be good or challenging, okay? You can create a tower moment deliberately because you want to do something different with your life. For example, say you decide you want to be self-employed because you've come up with this wonderful invention. And you're at work one day and you say, I quit. That would be a tower moment, okay, for you and your employer and coworkers. So you see, it can be challenging or wonderful, small, large. The one thing that it really does have in common is that it's abrupt, okay? So you can foresee that in December, there's most likely going to be an abrupt change of some kind, all right? Doesn't have to be. Remember, these are energies. If you change your energies throughout the year, it can change these energies. But I'm not really referring to the color of socks or anything that you're wearing, maybe a little more substantial energy. Okay, so this has a potential to be a challenge. Maybe we should take a card on it, just out of curiosity, okay? I don't think we need to, though. But let's see what we get for the tower. And then we really will be done other than the charm. Okay? No, this is beautiful. This is the Nine of Pentacles. This is where you are very happy with your abundance. Okay? So, that is not saying the problem. I think that is saying probably more like the solution. And I think what it comes down to is, you remember her, or this energy, the one of extremes? I think maybe there's choices made in here that create a tower moment. And this is telling you that not to worry. It's a positive change. You're creating this tower so you can end up in this energy which you love, which is abundance. Very happy with your abundance. Okay? So I'm kind of glad we took a card on that. But yeah. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Questionable, but you have what you need to take care of that. And the world, the Empress, Wheel of Fortune, okay, Hangman, gaining the clarity. You do have the Tower, but the outcome is great. So this is going to be an extremely nice year for you. Congratulations. Okay, let's get a charm, and I never look, so I don't know. Sometimes I get teased. No, beautiful, I love it. Okay, this has only, I think, come out once or twice before. What this is like a bar of gold, okay? So this is trying to tell you this is going to be a very abundant year. And let's see, right here, the Midas touch. Remember, the first part of this is like in sequence where you're creating this beautiful thing, beautiful product, beautiful business, something. Looks like maybe it's going to be very abundant. And don't forget, you also have the Empress here and here, which is right in the same column. So, golden bars. Wonderful. Thanks so much, and I hope this helps. Much love. Bye. Oh, and happy 2022.